बोल 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 ఏం పట్ట కై మైత్రి ఆపే మైత్రి కనే ఆపే అమ్మ కాపే అమ్మ మైత్రి Japmala sticks both. Japmala you can hold it and sticks. See, the Gayatri mantra is a universal prayer. Okay, it's a universal prayer for enlightenment. Is the recording? Is that? Is the recording going on? Okay. So Gayatri, listen carefully. Finish that. Gayatri mantra is a universal prayer. Okay. Universal prayer with sun as medium of prayer. It is not for the sun, but through sun, the one who created the sun, the creator. Okay. Surya is the sun. Surya Narayana, one who is creator of sun, because the whole energy is, the sun is the source of energy for the entire universe. The one who created sun is Narayana, the consciousness, universal consciousness. The prayer is for the universal consciousness Narayana. What is the prayer? Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha. The one who created 3 domains of experience, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka. So there are 3 planes of existence: entire planetary system, entire galaxy and planetary system, intermediate regions, and the earth. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, 3 planes who created. Okay. 3 planes at the gross level, at the physical level. And who created 3 planes of consciousness in us. What are the 3 planes of consciousness in us? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Externally the universe may be there, but without waking, dreaming, deep sleep in us, we cannot experience that. So those one who created the external conditions of 3 planes of existence and internal 3 planes of existence called waking, dreaming, deep sleep state, Bhu Bhuva Swaha. Tat Savitu Varenyaha. That supreme reality. Who is that supreme reality? The pure consciousness who is responsible for creation. Everything in that universe has come from the pure consciousness. Savitu means one who has given birth. Savitu is a feminine. So the God is as a feminine, has given birth to this whole universe. That's Savitu. Varenya. That is the only, he is the only he and she. Tat, and tat means that. That is consciousness. Savitu means giving birth, the feminine form. Varenya, only worthy of worship. Nothing else is worthy of worship. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. We pray to the Bhargaha means the destructive energy. Okay. He has created the universe and there is a power of destruction. Destruction of what? Ignorance. Okay. Bhargaha means destructive power. Destruction of. Konale? यार स्कूटर बीजू स्कूटर की you are the key. Bhargaha means power of destruction. The consciousness has a power of destruction, which is the destruction of the ignorance. Devasya Dhimahi, that God we meditate. Dhimahi means we meditate. Why we meditate? Dhyo yonah prachodayat. Dhya means our intellect may be purified so that we attain the highest wisdom and enlightenment. Very, very straightforward prayer. Okay, there is no other prayer as simple and straightforward as this. Okay, here whom we are praying is also very clearly specified. What is the objective of prayer is also clear. Its objective of prayer is not for any material benefit, not for any wealth, not for money. It is purification of our intellect. We understand that our intellect has become impure. Why intellect has become impure? it has associated with the flesh. It is not, it has to be associated with consciousness. Yo naha prachodayat. And prayer is not for me. Naha means for us. Okay? The prayer is for benefit of all the beings on the universe. So, and and why we are praying to sun is because sun is the source of energy. That energy is the one which is responsible for our life, breath, movement, thinking, action. So we are looking at the source of energy, which is sun, and through the sun we are praying to the source of sun. That is the prayer. Is the prayer clear? So the Lord, who is consciousness, has created 3 planes of existence. Bhu, Bhuva, Soha. 3 planes of existence. He has created 3 planes of consciousness in us, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, to experience these 3 planes of existence. He has created intellect in us, which has become impure because of association with the matter. So the prayer is to purify that intellect so that all of us experience the highest enlightenment. This is the prayer. So why I am telling this prayer today is because today is the day this center is for karma, action. So we saw a movie and I had a discussion about karma earlier. How to drop prarabdha sanchita agami karma. Okay. So now I am teaching you how to drop sanchita karma, the accumulated karma. Okay. So much of karma which you have karmic impression you have accumulated. How do you offer to the God? The fire, offering to the fire is a means. Okay. In the sense, it is a symbolic way. Human mind requires some symbols. When I offer something into the fire burns, the gloss will be converted into subtle will become a smoke, and it will disappear into the environment. So symbolically we are offering all the karmic impressions we have done to the Lord. Okay? Understand? Then why Japamala is? Japamala is for those who want to continue meditation practice. I'm giving Japamala. Okay? It's clear. So now, how to use the Japamala, I'll teach. Hold your mala like this. Okay? Beats like this. So this is actually a nerve ending. This is the nerve. So this nerve stimulates our Sahasrara. Okay, this is the center which stimulates the Sahasrara. Those people who are Janivara, right? The thread. Okay. So this I have made for universal, for men and women, which is common, simple. Okay. So this will stimulate the nerve center. So nerve center. Okay, you start chanting mantra. I'll tell different mantras you can chant. First mantra is prayer for enlightenment. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Prachodayat.
Prachodayat.
So now you go to the gap between 2 beats. Hold it there. The mind becomes silent. Become aware of that silence. Then again, Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Prachodayat.
Prachodayat.
Again experience the silence. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Tat Savitur Varenyam.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Dhiyo Yonaha.
Prachodayat.
Prachodayat.
Silence. This one mantra. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So what does it mean is, Vasudeva means one who is resident in the heart of every living being. Where is the place of residence for the Lord? In the heart of every living being. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I bow down to that Lord who is resident in the heart of every living being. Okay? So otherwise what happens? We start looking at a human being by flesh and say he is different from me. Our relationship is not in the flesh, but in the consciousness. The consciousness is the Lord who is present in the heart of every living being. Only when you realize that consciousness in the heart of other being, there is love develops. Otherwise, love is only flesh. Christ said, love thy neighbor as your own thyself. Now, what is thyself? Is it flesh? Is it body?
It's a consciousness.
It's consciousness. So that mantra, that is translated as Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Otherwise, thyself you will mistake it for a body. It's not a body. Okay? You understand? So this, to remember this, that Lord is in the heart of every body, and every body is really no body. Only somebody is God, consciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya said. Is clear? By this, we will develop the concept of universal brotherhood, universal family. Okay? It is not just a word. Universal family, we have two relationships of blood, relationships of consciousness. Which is stronger?
Consciousness.
There's a saying, no? Blood is thicker than
Water.
What does it mean? Blood is thicker than water. Anybody heard of this?
We heard about it.
What is it?
Blood relationships are more stronger than the
How is it related to water?
water is essential for life.
See, many civilizations are built around water. Relationship with water is a civilization relationship.
Okay.
Oh, you have a community. Okay. All whether most of the Indian civilizations are built like Ganges River, no? So you are a community living in that area. But even though you are a community, what is closer to you is blood. Blood means your blood relatives. But the relationship of consciousness is much more than the blood relationship. Because consciousness is God. Each of us are related to consciousness directly. That understanding is really universal brotherhood. Once you understand the concept, then you develop a consciousness called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole universe is my family. I am a universal being. I don't belong to such and such a race, such and such a community, such and such a caste. I am a universal being because I am the son of the universal consciousness. That is Vasudeva. Is clear? Any questions? See, the problem comes when people mistake these mantras for a person. They are not a person. They are about a consciousness. Okay?
So the consciousness in everyone is the same, as in every being, it's the same consciousness.
Then that's only one.
That's the reason why it says,
Huh.
why it is said that love thyself, as in love your neighbor
As thyself. What is thyself? Is that consciousness? Otherwise, there's no point in loving your neighbor, right?
Right.
You may love your neighbor's wife, but not in the.
That's how it was interpreted earlier on as well.
Okay. So if you love God, the loving God means loving the creation. It's not only in human being, all animals and living beings have that consciousness. Understand? There was Gayatri. So there was a man who was going in a street. He was a faithful man, going to temple and churches all the time. But he found that serving the creation of the Lord is the way to serve God. Okay? Serving creation of God is serving the God. Because God, if you offer anything to God, it has to go through the creation. Those who are needy, those who are suffering, if you offer something, it will reach the God because it reaches the consciousness directly. So angel appeared in front of him, asked him, I have a name of 5 people, X, Y, Z and Q. Can you please tell me the address of these people? He said, why are you asking me? See, these people have been shortlisted by God. They will be allotted the quarters next to God because they love God so much. Okay?
Real estate.
Huh? Real estate planning. So then he says, okay, go and these are the places, so go and see. And gives the address. So after a couple of days, again he is going the street and suddenly again the angel appears. Okay. So now he says, what list you are asking me? Now there is no list. Last time I came with a list of people who loved God most. Now this time I am coming with a list of people whom God loves most. And your name is there in that. See, the service to the God can happen only through a service to a creation, an offering. You can pour tons and tons of milk on an idol, but do you know that thousands and millions of children are living without water, malnutrition. So, giving that milk to at least one child is an offering to the God directly. The God's creation has 5 dimensions. First is Manushya, human being, which is the prime of creation. Bhuta, animals, all kinds of animals. So serving human being by seeing the Lord in human being is the real service to the God. Now people do social service. Okay, there's a difference between social service and
Service to the human being.
huh?
Service to the human beings.
No, social service also they do service. All these politicians say I do social service. Okay,
Self-service.
that's a difference. When you do social service, you are looking at a human being and doing service to him. When you do a service to a human being in the form of God, you are not looking at the human being, you are looking at God in. A social service may give you name and fame. A real service, looking at a God in a human being and doing service, leads to your evolution. The social service is for the flesh. A service to the human being in the form of understanding that God is interested in his heart is actually way to spiritual evolution. Clear or not clear? I can look you as Biju, as a body, or I can look Biju as consciousness.
Right. Right.
So if I look you as a body, then I am more and more getting identified with the flesh.
Yeah.
And I can help you. And most people help. But they'll help a body, flesh. So your identification is the flesh. But if I look at Biju as consciousness, a Christ consciousness embodied in a human being, I am looking at not Biju, I am looking at Christ. So what is your attitude of service makes a difference. Have you understood what I am saying?
Yeah.
Right? So the attitude of service is what is important. So you can say I am doing a lot of self-service, social service, I am helping a lot of children. If you are helping a lot of children, then you will go to hell. Because you are helping children thinking that they are bodies. If you understand that you are not helping children, but you are serving God through children, you will evolve. This is the difference. It's called Nara Narayana Seva. So seeing Narayana in human being and doing service is called Nara Narayana Seva. Clear? Any questions? Then Bhuta, this service is called Manushya Yadna. Yadna means offering. Okay, Yadna is an offering. This is a symbolic offering. Okay, symbolic offering. Why it symbolic offering is, in today's day, we can teach through a PowerPoint presentation, video, and all those things. Earlier day, they had to have a symbolic way of teaching. The fire worship is a symbolic way of teaching the principles. It's a demonstration. What is that? Whatever you have, you offer to the Lord. That is the meaning of this worship. Is clear? Then Bhuta Yadna is all living beings are actually, they have that consciousness. So respect the life forms. Don't torture. Respect the divine life forms. That's called Bhuta Yadna. Today, in the name of modernization and civilization, we are causing innumerable pain and suffering to living beings. Doing acts of love and compassion to living beings is called Bhuta Yadna. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. The Lord is in the heart of every living being. Are you respecting life? Do you have compassion for living beings? So Buddha one day was going and somebody was preparing killing of a goat. Buddha offered his head in place of the goat's head. That's an act of compassion. Deva Yadna is this environment. Everything required, the environment, beautiful environment is created where there is a lot of balance, checks and balances, beauty and harmony in the environment. Whatever actions you do for the balance of nature is called Deva Yadna. In the name of modernization, you have created a lot of imbalance. Small acts of balance, bringing back balance to the nature is called Deva Yadna. Do you know, if the frogs die in Africa, people die out of disease in Bangalore. The frogs in Africa, they die if the temperature rise is there because of the global warming. When the frogs die, they don't they eat insects. And insects fly, and insects carry the virus and bacteria which is spread to nearby village, and from there it spreads globally. The whole environment is an integrated whole. It's single unity, entity. Disturbance of any part will disturb the rest of the part. In the name of civilization, in the name of modernization, we destroy the environment mindlessly and in turn it affects us. Deva Yadna is anything which can bring back balance in the nature. Okay, not okay. Chair, you take a chair. Sit down there, sit down there. Then there is Pitra Yadna. Pitra Yadna means taking care of the senior citizens. See, what has happened is earlier there is a beautiful system. There were senior citizens in the house. There are 3 generations living together. Now there are no 3 generations. Even 1 generation living together is very difficult.
Nuclear families.
Huh?
Nuclear families. Peace.
No clear families. Nuclear. Families are not clear. Okay. So what happened was that 3 generations had a beauty. When the father and mother works, the children were exposed to parents and grandparents. If whatever wisdom they had will used to come to the child in the form of stories and anecdotes. If they had wisdom. Okay. Right? So now that is gone. There's a gap. Second thing is that wisdom. What was the wisdom? The cream of spiritual wisdom in India always passed on from generation to generation in the form of stories. That's easier way to pass on. typically grandparents will tell the stories to children, and the stories will go deep into the consciousness. Psychology did a study. What they said, they found the people with most stable emotional quotient in life. They found that these people with the most stable emotional quotient had a beautiful childhood, because whole of your foundation for life is built in the childhood. And those who had very beautiful stories told to them in the childhood, that goes deep into subconscious and becomes permanent in their life. So the way to teach children is through the form of stories. Actually, Bible is more appealing because Bible is full of stories, various anecdotes. Bhagavad Gita is not. Bhagavad Gita is direct teaching. Okay? Mahabharata is stories. Ramayana is stories. Whereas Bible is full of anecdotes. Story form, it gets straight into the consciousness. That was the message. So now this breaking is happening, then you need to teach children newer spirituality in a systematic way. So that is what is actually taking care of senior citizens and taking care of children. This is the Pitta Yajna. And finally, most important is Rishi Yajna. Rishi Yajna is the spiritual teachings which are lost, which are not practiced in a right spirit. So understanding the right spirit and imbibing that spirit of teaching into others is called Rishi Yajna. So of all these 5 yajnas, Rishi Yajna is the greatest, because once Rishi Yajna happens, everything else happens. So this is what, as a part of this my life, I am doing Rishi Yajna for last several years. Understanding the teaching of spiritual masters and communicating in a clear way so that the teaching gets passed on to next generation. This is what is Rishi Yajna. This is a part of Rishi Yajna which I am doing. Okay? My focus is on Rishi Yajna. For students also, I say prescribe these 5 yajnas. Okay? Rishi Yajna is compulsory. Other yajnas you do to the extent of possible with the limited time what you have. So that's the way to purify yourself. It's clear? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So in English the meaning is, I bow down to the spirit, I don't bow down to the pure consciousness in the heart of all living beings. That's the meaning. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chant. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Silence. Next clap. Next is silence. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay. This is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva means I bow down to my own inner self, which is pure consciousness. Okay? My Atma, myself. First is respecting the consciousness in all the living beings. And that's why the Indian tradition, Namaskara, is there. Okay? That's the most beautiful way of expressing the entire Indian tradition. Namaskara means, so the consciousness in you, the consciousness in me is one. I bow down to this consciousness. The head represents the ego. When I drop the ego in me, I realize the consciousness in you and consciousness in me is one. I respect that consciousness. Is called Namaskar. It's not for a body. It's clear? It's called Namaste. So then next is Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva means the consciousness in me, the pure consciousness in me, Shuddha Chaitanya. I bow down to that pure consciousness in me. Shiva means auspicious. That's the only auspicious thing in the universe. Rest all are made up of flesh and matter. So I bow down to Shiva in me. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 So these are the three mantras which I have told. One is Gayatri mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So those you can practice it every day. Have one round of chanting or 2 rounds, but whatever you do, you fix it. So the mind becomes purified. Mind becomes impure because we are constantly think of flesh, bodies. Think of the consciousness, God in living beings, in yourself. That is the mantra. And prayer is not for money, prayer is not for wealth, prayer is for purification of my intellect so that I can see the consciousness in me. This is real prayer. Okay, so that I can realize God is the real prayer. That's called Gayatri mantra. Then you can pray for money, wealth and all, but they are not. First you have to repair what is wrong with you. Clear? Any questions? Okay. So now why these sticks are there is, okay, why these sticks are there? In earlier days, the tradition was the student used to go to the master and take the stick and offer to the master. Why he used to take that stick and offer to the master? I am ready for wisdom. Okay. Please burn my ego and karma in the form of these sticks in the fire of knowledge. Understand? So with that, a student used to approach the master. Now the students don't know, so the master has to teach what is to be done. So teaching itself requires a 4 or 5 class of preparation. Why the stick? Why the fire? What is the karma? So master has great karma done in life too. Because students don't know. So you have to start from the basics. Is it clear? Okay. So when you start chanting, everybody start chant the mantra. One person will chant the mantra, and other people who can Murli, you can chant. So Murli will chant, and other people can repeat. While people come one by one and offer the sticks. So when offering the sticks, you have to attribute that all your karmic impressions you are offering. Okay? So your karma, past sanchita karma will get burnt. Then what you will do in future, we'll see. Okay? Past is gone. Clear? Karpa, sir. Karpa. So I have simplified this Gayatri Homa, not very complex. Instead of going through rituals, I have told the essence of the, right? So what we have become is, we have become too obsessed with the rituals and less obsessed, less focus on the purpose.
Stigma attached to Gayatri mantras, like women need not chant it.
Who is Gayatri?
Right behind you.
So all those stigma, actually that was not there. Okay, this came in India after post-Muslim invasion, which is after 11th century. Earlier, women and men used to study Vedic mantras. They were equally competent in the Vedic mantras. There are only 63 women rishis in Veda. Okay. Argi Sarkar Puja Sarkar. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. So Murli can stay.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Now one or two only.
Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
Bhargo devasya dhimahi.
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
Dhiyo yo na prachodayat.
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Om Bhurbhuvasvah.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः
Tatsaviturvarenyah.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यः भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
We'll now make the sankalpa. O Lord,
O Lord,
you are the
you are the
universal consciousness,
universal consciousness,
who has given birth to
who has given birth to
the sun, moon, solar system,
the sun, moon, solar system,
and whole of the universe.
and whole of the universe.
You have given
You have given
my three states of consciousness:
my three states of consciousness:
waking,
waking,
dreaming,
dreaming,
deep sleep,
deep sleep,
so that
so that
I can experience
I can experience
the world.
the world.
Please
Please
purify my intellect
purify my intellect
so that
so that
I can experience
I can experience
and realize
and realize
my own self
my own self
and the highest
and the highest
enlightenment.
enlightenment.
Grant me the
Grant me
devotion
the devotion